For the second year in a row, the most paid EuroLeague player failed to bring the title to Barcelona. Nikola Mirotic dominated the regular season, won the MVP award, but the most important trophy still remains in Istanbul. Can he lead Barca to the title they haven't won since 2012? Or is he a bit overrated with strengths that tend to disappear late in the season? Let's examine his game and Barca's EuroLeague performance.
Kuric picks up, finds Mirotic, Mirotic drives, Mirotic still goes, Mirotic gets the ball away, and Mirotic!
Nikola's offensive talent was never in question. A complete package at the power forward position with a bunch of different attack options gives headaches to any opposition coach. Combining the skill with his basketball IQ and Šarūnas Jasikevičius' elite set-play drawing skills, Barca have a unique variety of options with Mirotic. He was second this year in scoring, just behind the Final Four MVP Vasilije Micic, while having elite shooting percentages from everywhere on the court. His highest point per possession came from spot-ups at a staggering 1.71 points per possession, even above putbacks, which is pretty insane knowing the difference in difficulty between these. Apart from pick and pops and an extended range that he offers, Mirotic gives Jasikevičius options to run schemes for him that you would usually see played for guards. This was a nice fake post-up play that he might have stolen from Andrea Trinchieri's playbook, where he gives the handoff back and then receives a flare screen. Trinchieri used to run this for Paul Zipser already a couple of seasons ago, and it worked wonders after timeouts. Another play Barca like to run is this pick and roll into a handoff action. Here they are looking for a quick shot for Mirotic, since the most often coverage on handoffs are going in between the two. Plus, the big men are not that used as guards to fight through handoffs, making it extremely difficult to hardly contest. And if you follow, Mirotic can drive inside, once again showing off his versatility. Overall, he is an excellent floor spacer on a team which feels the need for more of those. But shooting is only a small part of what he brings to Barcelona. He is a triple threat on offense, knowing how to score from almost anywhere on the court. Playing back to the basket, power forward has so many moves you can't really tell which one is coming next. You might get hit with a spin to the baseline and a layup, spin, fake and then a step-through move, or a one-legged fall-away in Nowitzki style. However, one of Nikola's biggest strengths is the way he seals the position under the basket and reads the position of the defender. He has mastered the transition high seal, where he stops around the free throw line, doesn't allow the opponent to get in behind, opening up a huge space in the paint. Nick and Nico connection is in full force on these passes, and Spanish commentators love it. These two have a great chemistry, since Calates is arguably the best passer in all EuroLeague and Mirotic one of the best inside the paint. On cross screens, a slither of daylight for them is enough to convert it to 2 points. Against switching, where the Greek point guard struggles to score himself, look at their IQ doing the job. Mirotic doesn't roll and seals Lucas high. Nick flashes to the ball and throws the pass immediately over the top, not seeing any possible help defense. And since he is a huge threat inside and outside, this set play works perfectly often, where he can choose between cross screen to get a position inside, or use the pin down and lift up for a catch and shoot three. The defenders usually force you to use one or the other, but Mirotic is dangerous since he reads the situations well, pushes the defense into the screen, gaining the necessary advantage. Until now, we have talked about the scoring opportunities that come from set plays, great positioning and teammates. But the forward is also capable of creating his own shot, especially in the mid-post area where he likes to attack facing up. A series of jab steps, great footwork, and a high release point is a mix that not many in the EuroLeague are able to stop.
Pump fake down to the short corner, big play. Terrific work by Nikola Mirotic.
Moreover, Nico does it all super efficiently and the numbers are there to back it up. Looking at individual points per possession rankings by Instat, he is number 3 in all EuroLeague this season at an amazing 1.27 rate. For context, anything above 1 is considered good. He is just behind Dante Hall and Brian Dunstan, who live by scoring easy baskets. Other EuroLeague top stars like James, Micic and Larkin hover around 1 point per possession, and even though it's an elite number for guards, it makes Nikola's 1.27 even more incredible. So where does this talk about being overrated all come from? Mostly it all started after a poor performance last year in the quarterfinal series. If Nikola has a weakness, it is handling contact inside. And when Will Thomas and others offered a bunch of it, and it became harder to get favorable calls in the playoffs, we saw a completely different version of what should have been the MVP of the regular season also last year. Look at these extreme drops, especially in the 2-point percentage. Post-ups weren't working and Barca struggled mightily since it has by far the biggest usage rate of post-ups in all league. They needed all 5 games against the 8th seed, and Mirotic's performance was taken as the biggest reason for it. And while Barca again needed 5 games to get through quarterfinals as the first seed this year, Nikola's game didn't suffer as much as it did last year. While it is normal to see a slight drop in the field goal percentage considering the playoff defenses and his insane averages before, he managed to maintain his scoring and delivered a big performance in the decisive Game 5. Mirotic answered to the physicality much better in this series and found greater balance between attacking with post-ups, face-ups, or simple spot-up shots. He and Jasikevicius weren't forcing his back to the basket game that much, instead relying on the same schemes and situations that we talked about earlier on this video.
Shot clock low, he's going to have to release it, steps back, oh, Mirotic!
So what is Barca missing to make that last step? A tiny 3-point loss in the semifinal against Real Madrid definitely couldn't be blamed on the MVP since he shined with 26 points, 12 rebounds and 5 assists. In my eyes, it is more of a combination of personnel, luck and injuries. Teams know the best way to play Barca is switching all to break their intelligence sets and then clog the paint, helping from unstable shooters that they have on the court. It makes life much more tough for a team that utilizes post-ups more than anyone else. For example, even if Calates makes 1 from behind the arc, teams are still going to help from him and go under the screens on pick and rolls because he isn't known as a shooter. Jasikevicius tries to hide this problem uniquely, sending his point guard near the rim into the opposite dunker spot on post-ups, eliminating teams not reacting to his presence. That doesn't necessarily solve the problem every time, since other teams like to help from Exum, Davies and others that like to drive on kickouts more too. Also, EuroLeague's Final Four single-game elimination format so far hasn't been that friendly to Barcelona either. We all know the basketball truth about anything happening in one game. Plus, this year they missed another high-scoring guard in perimeter with their arguably second-best player Corey Higgins returning from injury straight to the semifinals after being out for the major part of the season. Barcelona needs a couple of small details to go their way to win the title next year, and all the talk about Mirotic being overrated will go away in a second after that. There is no other 4-man in the EuroLeague that can do as much as him, and do it so effectively on offense, and this is why he is rated as the top player in the EuroLeague. What's your thoughts on Barcelona not finding their way to the title? Let's talk in the comment section down below, and I'll see you in the next video.
There's Mirotic able to find a route to unload the open two-handed dunk.